Today is a very special episode because because we are drinking.
We have some nice piss here. I'm gonna pour it out
because
in
we are we've read this book. We do the Animorphs podcast for a while,
this
right?
Is not Animorphs, right?
And we decided, maybe it's time we start recommending these books with some drink pairings.
Pairing them with a drink.
So for Animorphs,
so for this 35, one where Marco turns into a dog, we decided to try.
So for Animorphs book, welcome to Animorphs Book Club podcast. Today we're reading Animorphs book 35.
We already read it.
We already read the book Animorphs 35, The Proposal. My name is Be Natural.
I'm Better.
I'm Mustard. I'm Stir.
All right.
I have a giant wine glass here filled with water this episode.
We paired. I was listening to an Animorphs podcast, and they actually were pairing the books with a wine. I forget which one it was. Yeah, they were like, today we're pairing this with and then they and I'm like, man, Animorphs fans are old.
How do you know 70 different wines?
Oh, dude, I looked at our listener demographic, and they're mostly in their 30s.
That makes complete sense. I'm surprised that people in their 30s have the patience to listen to us, though.
We might only have 2 listeners, though. I don't even know.
Whose summary is today?
I didn't write a summary.
That's fine. You can just come up with it off your top of your head, can't you?
That's not my style. That's the way I roll.
It's gonna be different this time.
Alright, okay, fine. Alright, Marco, his dad is dating his math teacher, Miss Robinette, and he doesn't like it because that's awkward, and also she has this really annoying poodle named Euclid, after, the math guy. Anyway,
I just got that. She's a math teacher.
Yeah.
So her personality is math.
Yeah, exactly. And so he doesn't like that, because obviously he still has, conflicted feelings about his mom possibly still being alive and, reuniting his family members, and his dad doesn't know, but he wants his dad to be happy. Because he's stressed out about that, whenever he tries to morph, sometimes when he tries to morph, he messes up morphs, so that, he morphs half into one animal and half into another. So, meanwhile, there's this guy on TV that Marco sees, who, he has this show where he gives people advice. He's like a self-help guru kind of guy, and he's really chill, and he loves animals. But one day on the show, he starts talking about the sharing, and Marco's like, oh no, this really cool, awesome guy, William David Tennant,
Rogers Tennant.
Whatever. He's David Tennant.
I shouldn't say it.
You know how sad you would be if it turned out David Tennant was a controller? Now you're in Marco's shoes.
This book is kind of just book 12 again, because there's a celebrity that everyone likes who's being a
Yes, it is.
controller.
Exactly. Now come on.
And Marco has trouble morphing.
Yes, we know. Okay.
I'm sorry making me laugh.
Wow, how insightful.
Did you know that The Force Awakens is just like the movie 1 of Star Wars, New Hope?
Yeah. Anyway, so the Animorphs decide to try to interrupt his show in some way, to prevent him from making a bunch of people join the sharing. So they just go to his house and spy on him by flying around his birds above his mansion, but he just seems totally epic. He hangs out with his little parakeets.
He has a billion
cockatiels.
Cockatiels, yeah. So they decide they need to get closer. So they break into his house and morph cockatiels and pretend to be his pets so that they can get really close to him. And in doing this, they find out that he has a really bad temper because Marco accidentally shits on his desk because he's stressed out. And he's losing control of his morph.
He's a bird when he does this, by the way.
I said they morph cock. So the Yerk starts trying to strangle him. He's like, oh, I can't wait until I get to kill every single animal on Earth. So now the Animorphs have a plan where... also Marco lies about having trouble morphing, because of course he does.
Over and
This is
over
book
again.
12.
The whole book.
Anyway, so their plan is that they're gonna get David Tennant to go crazy on screen so that he'll lose his job and stop, having power. And so they try a bunch of different things. They try morphing cockroaches while he's at this banquet and going into his salad, and that doesn't work because they accidentally give the wrong person a salad, and then he ends up not freaking out.
Instead, every woman and girl in the room freaks out, and all the men.
Yes, and all the men start shifting the women. Yep, and they morph fleas to try to get under his toupee to try to like make him angry from having an itchy head. Because of course he has a toupee. That doesn't work.
I don't think I caught that it was a toupee. It's a ponytailed toupee.
Yeah.
That is interesting. It was a pony. Would ponytails toupees work?
Like, well, I always imagine they'd be too heavy, like they'd fall off the back of your head.
And also, like, the ponytails make your hair, like, stretched around your scalp, right?
Isn't
so, like,
a toupee just, like, part of hair?
Yes.
So would the toupee have a ponytail on it?
He just doesn't like putting his hair into a ponytail.
But the bottom part is still on his head. That would make sense.
His toupee, it just hurts too much to put his hair in a ponytail, so he puts a toupee on that looks like a ponytail, but he has plenty of hair.
Anyway, finally, Marco has this idea where, earlier in the book, while he was trying to control Euclid, he acquired it, luckily, so now he has a Euclid morph, and he decides to try to annoy William Foster Tennant every time he goes outside. What is it?
William Rogers.
Rogers, okay.
By the way, I only know
Ian
that because it's like
Koczynski.
on the first page of my notes, and I'm looking right at it.
Okay. Thank you.
I just wrote the hippie guy like every time in my notes.
I wrote WRT.
Okay. So now every time he goes outside for his daily jog, Marco runs up and annoys him, but he can't do anything about it because everybody says he's such a cool animal lover and he loves animals. Finally, it gets to the day he's going on a show. He's sitting in his WT is sitting in his water closet.
In his WC.
Yeah, he's sitting on his set, waiting for the show to start.
Making a W.
He sits alone in the dark every time before his show starts, conveniently. And Marco goes to annoy him so that Axe can hack into the cameras and turn them on, and then start broadcasting William having a mental breakdown. So they do that, but when Marco tries to morph, he accidentally morphs half poodle, half polar bear. So then he like runs in and like tries to kill W because he is losing control of morph. But then Jake tells him to get control of himself, and he morphs back into completely a dog. And then William starts choking him. And Axe turns on the camera, and everybody starts broadcasting him choking this dog.
And he says, "I'll choke 1,000 dogs before I let this company die."
Yeah, and he repeats that over and over again. So then he loses his job and all that crap. Oh, also earlier in the book, Marco finds out that his dad is planning to propose
the proposal
to Miss Robinette, the teacher. And at the end of the book, Marco's like, okay, well, I guess some things you can't change, or whatever the moral is. And then the dad gets married to her like 2 weeks after he proposed, which is kind of insane. But I guess they didn't feel like taking a 6-month-long chunk out of the plot of Animorphs, I guess. So
they've been through this rodeo before. They just want to get through with it.
Anyway, so now Marco's dad is remarried again. The end. Oh, and
Not the end. Not the end.
Just when we think everything is going perfectly fine again, Marco receives a call from a very familiar sounding voice, and she says, "I'm Visser 1." Bye. Click.
Does she say she's Visser 1?
No, I don't. I don't remember what she said.
It's Marco's
She says,
mom.
"Marco, I need your help." By the way, in the last book that Visser 1 was in, you might have forgotten, but like
she got rescued by a clown.
Yeah, that happened, but before that, at the last minute, like, she realized that that one of the Animorphs is Marco, her host's son, and she was like, "Oh my god, it's Marco," and then she fell off the cliff and got rescued by the clown.
She knows one of the animals? Oh, that
happened at the end of one of the books.
Yeah, she saw him morph out of
like book
whatever
30.
he was.
She thought her son was an animal, okay.
Yeah, and that's why she called him, and Marco, if you're there, pick up my mother. And then literally the text of the book, like, no, like, font change or anything, just, like, to be continued in ... Visser.
So now I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, I think this is the first time that like the next Chronicles book has been like directly like teased in the book.
Although it is not like the teaser, like every Animorphs book has like a one chapter like teaser for the next book. The teaser for the next book is just book 36.
Yeah,
it skips Visser.
It is kind of weird.
That is strange. Like,
yeah, especially because like the book literally just says to be continued in Visser in it.
Yeah. B Natural and I both gave this book a stern.
Okay, I finished the book, and before anybody else had read it, I said to Mustard, "This book is a lot like book 15. I wonder if Banner will love it,
book 15?
and if you'll hate it."
No, I definitely thought that Mustard would hate it, and I would like it.
I did not hate it. I thought, okay.
Did you think it was similar to book 15?
No. What did it have?
Because it's about how like Marco just like hates the world and wants other people to.
He doesn't talk about that at all, though.
I think I don't know if he talks about it, but I think it's definitely in the subtext.
He doesn't want people to suffer. What I liked about this book is that his motivation was like, it was still angsty, but it felt like an evolution of like.
There was no angst in this book at all.
Yes, there was. There was a ton of angst. Okay.
Oh, so by the way, I have a question. I have a question. Was it said in the book that the reason he's fouling and morphing was because he was stressed?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, I missed that. That doesn't make any sense. Surely the Animorphs have been more stressed than. My dad is dating now.
That's pretty stressful if you're like the reason that your dad is that it's pretty stressful like already, but then also the fact that your mom isn't even dead.
And, I mean, they're stressed out from like moment to moment when they're fighting and stuff, but this is like a long term like
his
emotional stress type thing.
What are the Animorphs fighting for? They're fighting like for this like maybe like delusional idea that one day they'll be able to get things back to normal. And Marco's dad remarrying is like is like other people in their human lives like acknowledging that life is moving on without them and there's no way they're going to go back to the way things were even if they do beat the Yeerks. Like the absence that Marco's mom has had from his dad is like already impacting their lives. The Yeerks are already like taking away the possibility that Marco's dad and mom can be together again, even if Marco's mom can be saved. His dad is moving on and like, you know, like burying her in his head. I thought it was really cool when Marco's like, "No, Dad, you're killing her." Like that was kind of interesting.
And you believe this is the most stressed by far that any of the Animorphs have ever been?
I don't think that stress is just like a number on a scale where it's like, oh, you're more stressed now than you've ever been. It's like there's different ways to be stressed. And there's different like effects, the different kinds of like, you know, this is like a whole theme in Animorphs kind of where it's like, wow, dude, you're so stressed about, like I used to be stressed about, like, basketball or whatever, but that's crazy to think about now that...
Yeah, I would even care about that.
I don't know, to me it's just like, silly that they just brought up this plot element that, the Animorphs can't morph well when they're stressed 35 books in the series, when clearly they've been stressed before.
I don't know, I kind of interpreted it as, like, it's been building up this whole time, and just, like, now it's, like, hitting him that, like, he's not going to getting to go back to the way things were before the war. Like, it's just not happening. And, like, I don't know, that seems believable to me.
It makes sense to me, yeah.
One thing I thought was funny...
Now, given all that, I almost gave this book a thumbs down until, like, the last 5 chapters.
Why?
This book was very book 12-y and kind of boring, but more boring until...
Yeah, this book was...
And I honestly feel like maybe I would like the book if I read it again, but like I was very bored for most of the book, and then the last 5 chapters kind of recontextualized a lot of it, and I was like, wow, that was interesting. And then the last chapter was like, huh, that's weird. And then it's a meh, but it's interesting.
I don't know what you're saying with recontextualization. I thought the book was pretty good.
Maybe we could get there when we get to the end, but...
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I honestly, like, kind of read some, like, interesting themes in this book, and it's one of those things where I'm not even sure if the author intended it, but it nevertheless was interesting to me at the end, to think about the book at the end of it.
I will say, I did read this in a, I listened to the audiobook. I wasn't doing other stuff while doing that, I was, like, fully paying attention, you know, but I think I did miss if it explicitly said that it was because of the stress.
I don't need it to explicitly say that. It's pretty evident.
I guess there wasn't like a moment where they're like, okay, it's definitely because of my stress. It's more like, oh, I heard X says, oh, I heard that like stress can affect morphing sometimes, and characters are like, oh, Marco, are you sure you're okay? And he's like, oh yeah, I'm okay. But then like these things keep still happening. Like,
were you guys thinking it was going to turn out that he had an allergy or something?
Okay. Yeah, no, because what I was waiting for is it was like, why are they still going on missions? They need to figure out what this thing that keeps happening is. I was waiting for the B plot of that to happen.
Yeah.
And they didn't.
They didn't really.
It seemed like they didn't even try to resolve this morphing thing, except just by, I guess it's resolved by him being, like, accepting his dad's marriage at the end.
Jake thinks that the issue is that he needs to practice, I guess, so Marco practices morphing a bunch, and he's like, oh, well, it hasn't happened in a long time, so that means it's not going to happen again.
And then it happens like
to be fair, what are they going to do? Just never let Marco morph again, ever? Like, to be fair, there has to be a point where they have to say, like, well, I guess we're going to let you do it again, like, right? Because it's like, if one of them f***s up one time, like, what are they going to do? Just, like, decommission that guy forever? Like, That made sense. That part, that much made sense to me.
It didn't make sense. Wait, when
the part where they're like, well, it hasn't happened in a long time, so I mean, I guess you can start morphing again. Like, what else are we gonna do? Never have you morph ever again?
There are morphing allergies. Maybe there are morphing sicknesses where for a week you can't morph without occasionally
Axe
messing up.
apparently had no input on this, so evidently...
I know, I was waiting for the part where Axe is like, oh, hey, Marco, maybe you should not go out of missions right now if you're having issues.
Yeah.
I think thematically...
It was a little strange how Axe had nothing to say about this at all. That was a little bit weird. Maybe just Andalites. I don't know. I guess Andalites never get stressed.
Well...
You know what's weird?
No, it plays into the thing again where Andalites haven't really researched this as much as like would be useful to the Animorphs because they don't use it as much. It's more like a stealth thing or whatever. And now, they only have a few morphs each.
Yeah.
And I will say,
obviously the Animorphs are. I feel like at this point it makes sense that the Animorphs have been morphing for so long that they're going to start doing their own research, whereas they're going to be coming across things that the Andalites might not have even encountered before.
I'll say the time I was most annoyed by this thing was when Marco was just refusing to tell the others that it happened. Marco,
didn't you learn from Rachel?
I know, that is Marco, you don't know. Maybe
this wasn't as bad as the Rachel thing. This was just it probably was a one-time thing, whatever.
Why would you assume that? Marco, first of all, the first time we've ever seen, I thought this was one thing that was funny, the first time we have ever seen someone morphing two animals at once was the previous book. So that's not a normal thing that happens. How do you know that doesn't mean you're dying in 2 days? Maybe you want to ask Axe what's going on, if he knows why that would happen.
Okay.
It's really funny to me that the first time that happened was in the previous book, and now it's just happens to Marco on accident.
This ghostwriter read that book and was like, whoa, you can do that? Okay.
Yeah, that's
and every book from now on is going to have that.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
No, I honestly, this is one of those things, I was very extremely annoyed. Let me see my note. No way was I going to tell the others about my morph freak out, that I'd barely managed to demorph with that before suffocating, that I'd been too freaked to try morphing again. No way was I going to tell them that. And I wrote, argh! I was so mad. But, this is one of those things, the end of the book recontextualized this for me, and it, wasn't annoyed.
How so?
What happens at the end?
Can you explain how this changes it?
Okay, what does it seem like I'm going to do? Oh my god, you guys. So,
Stop interrupting her.
You did it too!
That's a joke.
So what's it?
So, I think the end of this book intentionally or not, contextualizes this whole book as some kind of commentary on toxic masculinity. There's this my favorite chapter in the book is when Cassie shows up to Marco's house and at some point during the battle, Marco's okay, listen, maybe I need to talk to somebody, okay, a professional, but what am I gonna do? Tell them about the Andalites? Sorry.
That's true, because Jake just steps in and is no, Marco, push it down, and apparently that was the advice that Marco needed to
this is interesting, because, so there's that chapter that I really like where Cassie, shows up to his house and, tries to talk to him and tries to, get through to him, and he's just no, sorry, it's just not how guys work. And Cassie's well, maybe that's not how guys should work. And he's yeah, I guess. And, he doesn't really tell her much, but it does, it does reflect in his narration that it is kind of, making him think, at least. It's not really, getting him to do what Cassie wants, but it is, changing his perspective a bit, which is something. And then at the end of the book, Cassie tries to do her, I guess, how women solve their problems thing on Marco by being Marco, he's rampaging or something and out of control and he needs to be reined in. And Cassie tries to do this by being Marco, you can talk to us. Just try and calm down and tell us how you feel. We're here for you. And then Jake is shut up, woman. Marco, cope now. And then Marco describes it as a bucket of ice water on his head and it makes him calm. And it's but then Marco isn't better at the end of this book. He's not Marco is all better and it's yeah, I learned that the man's way is the real way. It's I feel this book, and I don't know if this also this is, given that this is also one of the most casual, this is probably the most casually sexist Animorphs book, between that scene and the part where it's weirdly insistent that only the women are afraid of cockroaches.
Didn't that happen?
And this is also the only male ghostwriter that in the Animorphs series. Fun fact: this is one of the only books that's written by a man. So honestly, I don't know if this ghostwriter is that good at writing. Maybe he's just saying well, yeah, the boy way is the way to do it for boys at least. But Marco, like I said, Marco isn't he doesn't feel better at the end of this book. He's kind of just learned how to bundle up his feelings in a effective way for the time being. And I think it's kind of like a commentary on how, like, yeah, you know, the guy code, as they put in this book, where you can't talk about your feelings, it sucks, and it leads to all these problems, like Marco saying, oh, I can't trouble the others by telling them about my morphing problems because this is me and I need to deal with this myself. However, you can't just walk up to a guy who's been conditioned his whole life to be doing this guy code thing and say, hey man, talk about your feelings right now. It's 1999, you know, the wokest year. You need to talk about your feelings to me and, like, just stop being toxic masculinity and stop it. And that doesn't, you can't do that. It's like, damage is done, in a way. Like, you know, maybe in the future, but, like, you can't just do it in one day. And I thought that was really interesting about this book. And, like, I kind of recontextualized these earlier chapters where he's like, no way was I going to tell them, to being like, Marco at this point in the series kind of doesn't care about other people and about their suffering. I mean, he does nominally, but he's kind of, like, in that moment, like, not thinking about anything else except for, like, his duty to carry out his mission and save his mother and bring back order to the world as he sees it. And that's how I looked at this book after reading the end.
I feel like, yeah, it makes... It's stupid, but it makes sense with Marco's character better than
Rachel.
Rachel, at least.
I mean, unless you want to interpret Rachel as just the stupid character, which sometimes is true.
Because Rachel because Marco not wanting to share being sad was a thing in previous books, but in the reaction, it's like, this is not like Rachel's character.
Rachel's motivation then was literally just, I want to see the cute boy. Marco doesn't care about seeing the cute boys.
It feels less superficial in this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, honestly, I liked it better. This is better than book 12, but it was more boring. Also,
the reason I gave this book a meh is there didn't really seem like there was, like, any kind of B plot that really there was put focus on. Like, I don't know, it just seemed like one of the most casual Animorphs books to me. Where, like, it's like, okay, this thing's happening, oh, we have to stop. Like there was no... Okay, I guess...
in a way, it was kind of like those Steven Universe episodes where, like, the episode is, like, they're helping Connie's dad feel, like, less of a loser, and then at the end, like, Aquamarine shows up and is like, hey, I'm the most dangerous gem ever, and then the episode ends, like, 5
I think the best way to put it is there wasn't really any twists in this book at all. It's okay, we need to stop this guy, that plan didn't work, new plan, and that plan didn't work for the same reason, new plan,
it was
that
like
plan
a TV
worked.
episode.
Yeah, it was... Which, like, it wasn't bad. Like, I think this was probably,
there's going to be a TV episode based on this one.
Yeah, like, this book was probably, like, if I was actually, like, directly comparing them straight after reading, probably, like, about as good as, like, I don't know, like, book 1 or something, or 2.
No,
book 1 is way better written than this.
I gave it a thumbs up, I almost gave it a meh. This was a very meh book.
Maybe not
it was a very meh book.
Maybe not one, but like...
just a barely meh book at the same time.
It.
Yeah.
And like, okay, I'm just going to go with my interpretation, and I'm going to go with it, like, whether or not it's a death of the author thing. The first note I have on this book is, like, the first page of this book, I was, like, reading this, and I just freaking laughed out loud at how, like, awful this passage was in, like, a book that's, like, for children to pick up in the library and start reading. Your dad being in love with someone who isn't your mother is a pretty normal problem, I guess. I mean, he's old, but he's not exactly using a walker and getting senior discounts at the Steak and Ale. Maybe you've dealt with the same thing yourself. Maybe you're dealing with it right now. Maybe this problem makes you feel like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. Yeah, well, boo-hoo. Sorry, kids.
That, I
you have no idea about the weight of the
world.
world.
It seems so strange. I was like, oh, Animorphs explicitly, like, trying to reach out to their audience. That's not something that I normally do. And then, oh, man, they're walking it back. They're like, wow.
Hey, kid.
Is this really what you want to say to a child?
Yeah, like,
who is
hey,
going
kid.
through their parents getting a divorce? Like, what
or
the
their
heck?
parents remarrying someone who they might not like.
I know, it's
like,
crazy.
Yeah, well, boo-hoo,
at least you have to fight the Yerks, idiot.
My fantasy problems that aren't real are way more important than
your
emotional
Animorphs
issues.
is constantly doing that. They've always done that.
Not this explicitly. Like, they never, like,
they've
talk
never
to
been
their
like-
audience.
They've never been like, hey, you might be dealing with the
Yeah.
same exact thing. This
Let me
main
sit down
character
and have
is dealing
therapy with
Well,
you.
shut up! You have no idea what I'm going through! I wish I had your problems, kid! What's with all these idiots killing themselves, by the way?
Yeah, they did that. They said, what's those idiots
They didn't
killing
say,
themselves?
hey, you, the audience, you might be thinking about killing yourselves. Well,
you're
boo-hoo!
stupid.
Do it!
At least you're not fighting the Yerks.
Well, my first note was...
in the end of this book, I'm like, you know what? Still probably a terrible thing to put in a kid's book, like ethically, probably, like,
again,
given that this is a real-world book.
Character.
Exactly, it fits Marco's character. Not saying that they probably should have just not had this in the book, like, if they reprint this ever, they never will, but if they do, like, maybe cut that part out. Just, because it's a kid's book.
This book doesn't need to be reprinted.
But it does, it does fit, like, his characters. He doesn't care about, like, other people's suffering. He cares about, like, kind of pitying himself, but also seeing himself as not pitying himself and seeing himself as carrying out this, like, masculine duty that he has towards his family and just towards his own feelings of what he has to do.
Yep, that's Marco.
Yeah, near the end of the book, I almost felt like this was, like, half a book. Like, the more I'm thinking about it, like, there wasn't any, like, twists in this book. Like,
and there was no B-plot.
Are you making fun of me?
Yes.
There wasn't a B-plot that was, like, wrapped up and, like, had any twists to it. It's just like, oh, my dad's getting married, and now she's married at the end.
The fact that he proposed to her seemed like kind of a twist.
I mean,
it was presented as such, even though the title of the book...
It was on the back of the last book, so I knew that already. And that, like, wasn't the plot of the book at all. It just happened at the end. Like, it was weird. I feel like... I'm curious how connected this is to the Visser book. Like, it says to be continued in Visser.
Yep.
Like, I'm curious if this plot... Because I was so worried that the person that Marco's dad was dating was going to be, like, Visser 3 and Morph. Like, I was so ready for that.
He's so attracted to Alien Overlord. What can I say? Alien Overlord's just his type.
I mean...
They made sure that Robinette wasn't a
oh, yeah, that is a detail.
Yeah, they did. Well, it wasn't at the beginning. It was like 5 chapters in or something. And
that's the beginning.
Okay, well, I'd say when they first introduced this character is when I was worried about it, and then I think it was, I feel like it was
like 5 chapters later you stopped worrying, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. When was it? I think one of my first notes was like, I'm calling this now. Is this going to be secretly like Visser 3 and Morph, or Visser 1 more likely? I mean.
What, Visser went morphing and then redating Marco's dad? That's insane.
Wait, Visser 1
also,
got the power to morph just so she could redate Marco's. She just loves that. She misses that human dick so bad.
Oh, no, sorry, not morph. Infested a different human.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I guess maybe. Like,
this
maybe
body
he did...
is too broken.
Yeah, maybe he did kill his mom.
That might make sense.
That would be so twisted. That would be like the most, like, Animorphs, K.A. Applegate. I thought of the most twisted thing ever. Horrible, kids thing. Like,
reality.
Yeah, Marco, you killed your mom, but not the alien overlord, and now she's gonna be your mom again.
Yeah, like... that's insane. Man, that's horrible. Why they should do that?
Yeah, they would do that. I feel like this Animorphs had worse stuff.
This is what the ghostwriters are taking from us.
Yeah. Sorry.
Marco Animorph got a PlayStation.
Was his dad playing a sports game with him at the beginning? Yes. That was a fun scene.
Yeah. I like when it's describing how happy Marco's dad is, because that like adds more like emotional. Another emotional layer to it, because Marco doesn't want his dad to remarry, but he also doesn't want his dad to be unhappy. And he knows that his dad's going to be really unhappy if he can't be with this math teacher. Anyway, he smiles for no reason, he sings in the shower, he laughs at all of Marco's lame jokes, and he hugs Marco randomly. So
but he also, I kind of read some, like, he kind of resents him for it, too. Like, I kind of read some, like, resentment in there, especially, like, later in the book. His dad is like, okay, we won't get married unless you're okay with it. And Marco's like,
what, you're making me make that decision?
He's just like, no. Like, which is really interesting. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah, it's very complicated. I like that this happened in terms of what it does for Marco's character.
I have a note on this, specifically this PDF file that we have. It at one point, instead of Tobias, it says Tollies, Tollies.
Oh, that's supposed to say Tobias. I was so confused. And
I was like, who is Tollies? Is Tollies a nickname for Tobias? What is Tollies? Why does it say Axe and Tollies? And I checked the book, it doesn't just say Tobias in the actual book, so I'm glad I have this, because I was like, Axe and is Tollies the name of the hippie guy? I wasn't paying attention. Is that like a nickname for... Where did they get the 2 L's? This is like, it would be like Toby's, if anything. That's very funny.
Oh, so hold on. Speaking of hippie guy, so they say that he's in a room with like 6-foot tall lava lamps. Is that like 6 1-foot tall lava lamps or like multiple 6-foot tall lava lamps? Because when I was listening to the book, I can't tell where the hyphen is.
Would you rather fight 1 6-foot-tall lava lamps or 6
6
1-foot-tall?
Okay, so which is it?
Let me check the actual book because I do not trust this.
I don't know. I was picturing big lava lamps.
The lava lamps are 6 feet tall.
Yeah,
based on where the hyphens are.
Okay, wow.
Dang, that's crazy. I've never seen a lava lamp that big.
Well, this is like a set.
The 90s were wild.
It's like a floor-to-ceiling lava lamp.
Your mom is a floor.
Jake's the responsible, serious leader type. I'm the devil-may-care comedian. At least, that's what I often find it useful for people to think.
What a joker.
Also, he lies and says that he rode his bike to Cassie's house because he felt like he needed exercise. Being an Animorph, you would burn so many calories.
Yeah. It's kind of unclear how that works, though. Like, do they gain muscle?
Like, maybe exercise while you're in Morph doesn't count.
Yeah, which is very sad to think
It's
about.
too bad.
But I don't think it...
What if their human body just kept getting fatter and fatter while they morphed more and more? Wouldn't that be messed up?
Yeah.
Well, wouldn't it be so funny if they just, like, gained a bunch of weight? That'd be funny. Someone should draw a fan out of that.
Yeah.
What if someone's like, Animorph, you kids are getting, like, really strong, like, pectoral muscles and nothing else, and it's like just from them flying, and it's like
That would be so interesting.
and it's like you're like weird muscles in your body that like people never like use enough to like get them to be swole or like just freaking gigantic, and while the rest of them is like atrophied. I don't really have any notes until like chapter 17.
From these messages on television, I have learned that fitness requires particular shoes and particular clothing. It is not possible to become physically fit dressed as you are, Marco.
When was the last time they discussed Axe having a TV?
Axe was just like a
I don't know, but
reference
the Axe
machine
having a
this time.
TV, was basically
it.
his only function in this book.
I remember in like a
I liked
previous
Axe in
book
this
that was
book.
like his only function in that book. Like the first book where it was mentioned Axe as a TV, and now this ghostwriter took that again for this book. Yeah, Axe could have said something about like why Marco morphing weird. Like Axe did nothing in this book.
All Axe cared about is TV in this book.
Really, yeah, he was just.
I remember they joked like, "Oh, Axe, we didn't take away your TV," but like if he's gonna be like contributing
This is how he's gonna be forever.
They actually do need to.
He kind of did function as like the little kid who just screws stuff up, and you need to like. Why did they decide?
Randomified.
They were like, wait. They were like halfway through the book. They were like, okay, I need one of you other guys to be humans because like the weird French chef from Ratatouille has identified Marco as the guy that needs to empty the pig bucket. By the way, the most disgusting thing ever.
Yeah, there's no way that's the grossest thing they've done.
Is to like look at leftover food. Oh my god, it's so
crazy.
gross. I can't handle it. Like what a. Anyway, I've literally watched like people like insect legs explode out of people's like guts and actual guts being spilled on the battlefield. But
like,
watching macaroni
poop.
and cheese that's been mushed into some hamburgers is like the most disgusting thing that I've ever seen. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Anyway, we need a human. Another person to be a human in this situation.
Yeah, and they like
of all
really
people, they picked
it.
Axe.
They were like,
Why?
"Oh well, nobody else could be a human, so I guess it has to be Axe." Like what?
They didn't even say that. They just said we need one more human, and then Axe is like, okay, and then where did he turn into an Andalite in between this scene? Like where did he go to do that? If they picked any of the other ones, they probably could have just plopped him on the table.
That's the thing too, because Marco was in his regular body, like he wasn't morphed as a human, which he could have done because, as we've established, he does have an adult male human morph.
Yeah, but
be
Cassie
immoral.
told him not to do that though.
That'd be so immoral. Even though nobody would ever because he's just some random employee at some office, right? I don't even remember where he was when he got that. Like literally, no one would recognize him. And it would be less
and
conspicuous.
it would conceal his actual identity, which...
whatever.
Well, I think he wanted to be able to morph straight to an animal, though, while he was doing that.
I don't think... But morphing from a human to your normal human self is like... I'm pretty sure they've stated that's like fast. Like, It's not that hard to do. Also, you could probably just do it as long as nobody's looking directly at you. Nobody would even notice that you're morphing. You know?
Right.
Well, then...
Nobody, like, questions that, like, somebody who looks like they're 11 or something is like, working at a restaurant. Also, nobody's like, who the fuck are you? Like,
we didn't hire you. Yeah.
I've worked at a catering business before. Like, if someone just showed up who, like, nobody recognized, like, somebody would point that out, especially the boss. Like, how many people are working at this kitchen?
Is this like a
100-man kitchen or something?
This is like a Hollywood like banquet or something, kind of. Isn't it?
I've worked at events where we serve like 400 people, and it's like a crew of like 11 people doing that.
Well,
like,
these
you
are
don't need that many people.
These are like snobby rich people who don't like talking to others.
The people that are guests at where I work are also snobby rich people.
The people doing the business, I'm saying. Yeah, the people behind the kitchen are like snobby, like, ooh.
And they're French.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that was what I just did was an impression of
They're like...
I shouldn't have done that. That's like rude.
No, it's okay. This book is rude to French people.
This book is really mean to French people.
So yeah, like nothing really happens in this. Who are the Hansons or Hanson? They were like a major character in this book, despite
they were not a major.
Well, they had a whole scene dedicated to them, even though they're like real people.
They were a pop band.
I looked them up.
Were just at this banquet, so there's a bunch of.
But they were like the focus of a scene, like because they were gonna like put the cockroaches on WRT, and the cockroaches ended up on like one of them instead, and there was a joke about how he screams like a girl, he, and like they all look like girls, and the girls like them or something.
Oh, they made
that.
Bob. That's interesting.
I like the save where, like, so Axe is being gross and, like, licking people's plates in front of, like, he's, like, being a busboy.
Yeah.
I don't know where he got his busboy uniform, but whatever. He, like, licks people's plates in front of them. He thinks
Marco got another
because somebody just said, like, oh, clear the tables.
Yeah.
And Axe just starts forcefully grabbing, like, plates, and their Animorphs are like, how could this have possibly... Who could have predicted that this would happen?
Yeah.
From sending Axe here, of all people. But I like Marco's save, where he tells William Roger Tennant, like, oh, sorry, we're actually not busboys, we're fans, and we've disguised as busboys, and we want autographs. I thought that was kind of clever. So, Plan B is for the Animorphs to turn into fleas and just get under his toupee and bite his head a bunch while he's giving a short speech.
What chapter is this?
Chapter 19.
Oh, boy, you're all the way up there. Okay.
I don't have notes. Like, nothing happened for most of this book.
I like the scene where they were in his house.
It's memorable. I remembered from, like, when I read this book before, I remembered the scene of him, like, pushing in on his chest, like, pushing his thumbs in on his chest, and Marco's, like, head going to explode from the blood. That's
crazy.
freaking
I was like, whoa, they really
traumatizing.
wrote that. That's wild.
I think I enjoyed this William's character when he's just talking to himself.
Dude.
And he's like, oh my god, I hate... He's just talking to himself and to his birds. He's like, oh my gosh, I so hate being nice to animals. I just want to freak out, but you have no idea how
He's such a Saturday morning cartoon villain.
To be
so funny.
in this body. And I was like, man, this is a cool York character. I always like the side York characters.
Yeah, side York characters are the best.
And they do point out, like, this guy's a psycho compared to most Yorks even.
I like that they're at least acknowledging that most jerks are just regular dudes.
Yeah,
and
right.
Visser 3 is just selecting the, like, worst guys ever to be in the positions of power. That's literally canon. That's literally just the canon. Is that Yorks are just normal guys for the most part, but Visser 3 just picks the dumbest, like, most evil ones.
And I thought it was a cool scene. Like, I thought it was a cool way to get caught when he's talking to his birds, and then he picks up Marco and he's like, oh, say your name and you can get a treat, because, the birds are talk. And then Marco, like, doesn't know, and he's like, oh, all my little birdies know their names, unless you're not one of the little birdies.
That was kind of cool.
I thought that was...
Although, as an animal person myself, it would be perfectly expected for a bird that was just almost literally killed by its owner, who it thought that it loved, to not be able to remember its name in that moment.
Yeah.
Like... If this guy really was an animal guy, he wouldn't know that.
He's a psycho.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think...
But yeah, I love the idea that, like, this Yerk, like, previously was some kind of, like, a freaking hardened warrior who just loved killing. And then Visser 3, literally, he just saw, like, oh, there's, like, a high-ranking host coming up. You. And then you, I like you because you like killing. And then, like, well, that means you're good. And you get to be in the high-ranking position.
He was promoted past his level of competence. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. This is also, like, in... Chapter 5, it's like the most exposition-y out of any, like, Animorphs explaining what plan they're doing that I've ever read.
You say it was the most?
Yes. Because Marco's literally like, can remind me what we're doing here again?
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
Cassie's like, oh, you know why. Rachel's on little sister duty this afternoon. We're going tomorrow. Meanwhile, we're learning Tennant's habits.
Yeah.
And Marco's like, but we know his habits.
I have a question. Okay,
and in the past 3 days, he hasn't done anything even remotely illegal or scandalous.
I have a question. I forget. Was there a meeting scene right before that?
Probably.
Because maybe this is how they prevent having meeting scenes. Because I think that it probably is better.
There was my note for chapter 4 just says they come up with a plan to cancel culture WRT. Yeah. So I feel like that must be a meeting scene.
I also used the phrase cancel like several times in my notes.
I mean, he literally did get canceled.
Yeah, this literally was
for
the cancel culture
animals.
book.
See, Animorphs is still relevant.
Yeah.
You choke one poodle live on stage and try and shout about how you want to kill it.
The woke mob comes for you. The Animorphs are the woke mob today.
Speaking of that,
you know what? I like how their plan is just like, let's do something really annoying to William Roger Tennant, so then he acts like something annoying is happening to him while everybody watches while an annoying thing happens to him.
His plan was like, I'll turn into a poodle and bite him, and they don't get mad at the poodle. And everyone around sees the poodle biting this guy,
and nobody does anything. Like, this guy's like ultra rich. Doesn't he have like
famous?
Isn't there like dog pounds in this universe? Like, doesn't somebody do something about this one poodle that's somehow always at this ultra rich guy's like location somehow on TV and stuff? Also, I didn't understand how the cockroach thing was supposed to make him look bad. Like, wouldn't he just be like an icon? If
No. They wanted him to scream and freak out.
Yeah, but like, wouldn't a lot of people do that if they found cockroaches in their salad? Like,
yes,
how was
but
that supposed to
it's
make
different
it
for
look
him.
They feel
because
like he's gonna have a mental breakdown where he reveals his true psychotic nature and yells about wanting to kill all animals.
Yeah, because
okay.
Because
just because they lucked out and it's this guy, that's the only way this would work. Like, if this was like a normal Yerk, then that wouldn't like be a thing.
I think also, like, even if he
because it's Visser Three.
I think even if
this guy.
Yeah.
I think even if he does freak out like a normal amount, it might be like, oh, maybe this guy's persona of being all peaceful and like calm is fake, and we shouldn't.
If he loves bugs, if he loves animals, shouldn't he love cockroaches?
In a salad.
Oh, there was a part that I thought there was just like a joke that I thought was funny, like in terms of writing in the book, where Marco, it was like, hey, we need to set aside a salad. So hey, chefs, can you please have one without tomatoes? Because this guy specifically doesn't want tomatoes. And I just thought it was funny when then it like shows the guy. And he's just like, oh, those tomatoes look really good. So, like,
a thing that everyone says when getting a salad. Yeah. They always comment on how the tomatoes look. Like, holy crap, this guy is a tomato enthusiast. Like,
I mean, he's a nature guy.
All parts of the salad are also from nature, right? Like,
no, this is
this
tomato
guy
and meat
specifically
salad.
loves tomatoes.
It's just tomatoes and meat.
No, some tomatoes look. Tomatoes are food where you can look at it and tell if it's.
No, I can because I'm just saying, like, they happen to get a guy like William Roger Tennant or the Yerk or whatever. Like, they are tomato enthusiasts. Like, I'm a tomato enthusiast. I would say those tomatoes look delicious. I feel like most people are kind of on tomatoes.
I hate tomatoes. Yeah, so I can't talk.
A lot of people hate tomatoes, and a lot of people are like on tomatoes. But like, you have to be like a tomato liker, like a tomato enjoyer. Just to comment on the appearance of the tomatoes before you even get the salad.
Which that was so funny. Like, oh, this guy doesn't only not hate tomatoes, he is like a tomato enthusiast.
Who's the poor soul?
That's just funny irony to me.
Now, as a catering person, these catering company sucks. You always got to get the right salad to the right people. Also, Marco should have just said he has a tomato allergy.
Yeah.
Because, like...
Because they were like, oh, well, if he really hates him that much, you can just pick him off.
Where I work, can't do that we make salad modifications. There are so many salad modifications for people who don't like nuts or like cheese or like we want a different dressing. Like, I mean, we're so careful. Like, we have like a different person go out and like carry, like be like, oh, I'm the person who has the no nut salads. I'm the one. I'm gonna take them out to all the tables.
Well, see, thankfully this is a meat and tomato salad only, so they don't have to worry about it.
Is it a meat in it? I didn't
catch that. No, that's just a thing I made up.
It's literally just meat with tomatoes on it. There's not even any lettuce or like anything. Okay, it's barely a salad.
I want to go back to the bird scene just to mention
the bird scene is iconic. I have no notes on it, but it is like the one thing from this book that I actually remember. Like, I remembered nothing else about this book except for the bird scene, like, before we read this.
Marco is randomly suicidal.
By the way, I'm the war prince of this podcast. I read all these books when I was a kid. This is my exposition. So this, when I say that, I mean, like, from when I was 12 and read this book originally, like, the only thing I remember from this book is the bird scene.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that one thing you remember is the skunk scene.
I don't even remember the skunk scene now.
Where's the skunk in this book?
Okay, when Marco is in the kitchen...
Marco tries to morph a spider, and he morphs this horrible half-skunk, half-spider thing, and
like
terrifies a bunch of
skunk
humans.
with 8 legs. And
I'm sorry, that freaked me out when I read that.
That is freaky to think about, especially when you think about the way that skunks move and the way that spiders move.
Yeah, they're both kind of... Skunks like trot.
Yeah.
Anyway... just something about the bird scene that's on my notes. I don't think anyone mentioned this yet, but when Marco pooped on his desk, like the guy was on the phone with Visser Three. And then Visser Three was like, "Oh, kill that bird," and he was like, "No, I can't kill that bird. I'm sorry." And then he said,
Book 2 moment.
And then he said, "Oh, don't worry. The day will come where we will exterminate all irrelevant creatures."
I love that this guy is so hyped about exterminating all irrelevant creatures.
Like, has that been mentioned as one of the Yeerks like goals?
Yeah,
like,
that was
thing they do.
That was in one of the earlier books, and it was like a motivation for Cassie to get like mad about the Yeerks again.
Yeah,
because it was like, yeah, we're gonna kill all animals on Earth. Like, you think the humans are doing a bad job stewarding the Earth? Like, well, the Yeerks are just going to kill everything except for, like, the animals that humans eat.
Okay.
And farm.
Because they don't mention that often. And I guess most of the Yeerks probably don't care about the plan very much. Because they're all normal. And it's just, like, Visser Three's best friend, I guess. Who talks to him on the phone.
Well, it doesn't...
They are. I do imagine they're, like, BFFs. That would make sense.
I thought he was annoyed that Visser Three was calling him.
Everyone hates Visser Three, but you can still have it.
You could hate him and be his BFF.
Listen, Visser Three
they
probably
have a
thinks...
complicated relationship.
Visser Three probably thinks it's his best friend. And
yeah, you know what? Visser Three probably... Like, he's like, oh boy, I bet William Roger Tennant wants to talk to me.
I don't feel I should kill the bird. Dude, they said the word crap in this book.
Whoa, dude, that's so freaking
I'll
heavy.
teach you to crap. Dude, did he teach his Boko to crap on his desk?
Yeah. Jake is carrying a 2-inch long Swiss Army knife in his teeth while he's morphed as a squirrel. Oh, I see.
Another thing from this scene I forgot about.
Tobias actually like stays as a hawk and keeps watch. So like, yes, good job, Animorphs. Like,
finally relearning the thing that you already knew. Yeah.
Well, I'm just still proud of them. Okay.
The reason Moko doesn't get killed by this guy
sometimes they forget
after he poops on his desk is because the real William Roger David Tennant in the mind is resists.
He's resisting the Yeerk. That's true because he loves animals so much. He's such a great guy. Yeah,
that makes sense.
I like that he's still in there and he's like, you know.
We don't see too much Yeerk resisting too often. Like after book show.
Yeah, that guy does.
I like that. If they did it in every book, it would be like, oh, so it's just easy to do it. Anyone can do it.
Yeah.
But I'm so excited for the next book.
Like it makes sense. Like it always happens. Like because of love, I feel like it happened to like the guy's parents. Or, like
the one thing a Yeerk can't understand.
Yeah. Which book was that? I didn't have him for that. But like this guy loves animals so much that it stops
book
in like
6, where like Jake says like there was no love. I guess Yeerks don't do love, and then it's like freaking book 8. I'm gonna let. Like,
I love my brother so much.
Yeah. Like,
I'm gonna, you know.
It was his girlfriend. Like in book 8, like some Yeerk had a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Do you know?
One thing I thought was very interesting in this scene with the cockatiels was Marco. So not only does he like morph 2 different things at the same time and turn into mixtures of animals, but he also loses control of his morphs while he's morphing them. And so, but while he's morphed as this bird, he's like doing things that birds do when they're stressed out.
Yeah, that was cool.
That was cool because he was like plucking out his own feathers. He couldn't stop chirping.
He pooped on the
desk.
He
rocked back and forth. Yeah, he pooped uncontrollably. And it's like, dang, like
usually I feel like the books have been a little too much like, oh, you know, the first time you morph the animal, and then you got to get over this hurdle of their instincts. But once you do that, like, you can just morph them whenever you want, and you have full control. But no, it's like, actually part of this, like, losing control of your morphing is also losing control of the instincts that you thought you had control over.
Right.
Which was neat.
And what's interesting is when he does turn into the half poodle, half polar bear, he, like, imagines himself as like this creature that clearly doesn't exist in real life, but that like that's the instincts that he's operating off of, his self-conception of a Pooh Bear. Like, this book is very anti-poodle. It just thinks they're like killing machines that hate everything. It does.
Did we mention that like the poodle like hates Moko and bites him all the time?
Yes, I said that in the summary.
I think isn't there a part where somebody is like, oh, if only there was a way to completely annoy William Roger Tennant, and then Marco's like, wait, Cassie, say that part again, and she's like, annoy, and he's like, that's it, annoying.
Yeah.
Like I think that there was a scene like that.
And then they anoint him on accident because Cassie misheard.
What does that word mean?
Like pour oil on him.
It's like a religious ceremony.
I wouldn't get it.
Yeah.
So their plan, but before the poodle thing, like their plan B is that they turn into fleas and like bite him 1,000,000 times on his head while he's giving a 1-minute speech. And shockingly, he doesn't, like, this doesn't cause him to, like, freak out and scream, like, I'm a York, wah! And then the Animorphs are like, oh, this guy's so freaking good! Like, how did he do that? Like, guys, the speech was like 1 minute long, and you were just like 6 fleas biting on his head. Like, I'm sorry.
Like, pretty rude. How can we... I'm surprised he didn't just, like, scratch his head and, like, kill them or something. I don't know.
I don't think you can kill fleas by scratching them. They're pretty good.
Too small?
They're pretty good. Yeah, they're pretty, like, small and dexterous.
They
apparently they thought that was gonna make him, like, start saying slurs on stage, but, like, all he does is make a weird face and then keep his speech going and then leaves. And they're like, we're out of ideas.
It was a decent scene. Like, none of this... I don't think there was really anything in this book that was, like, really stupid. Like, what?
Just like let's have Axe be the busboy now for no reason.
Well, that's just for fun. I don't know.
There's also that part where they're all jumping out the window and then they just leave Marco to jump out the window in his human morph.
I don't think, by the way, guys, I don't think a wolf can jump out a second-story window and just be fine. Like, I don't think that works. Like, a tiger...
Second story? That's not that high.
A tiger,
he said it was like 20 feet.
I'm pretty sure a wolf jumping out a second-story window wouldn't do that much better than a human, honestly. Like, a tiger, sure, I guess, because cats and stuff, but, like, wolves are, like... If I try to picture, like, my dogs jumping out a second-story window, they would just die, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he turns like it happened to a girl, it happened to him.
They wouldn't die.
Well, no, but, like, they do a little better.
Break a leg, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like, they just described it like, oh yeah, wolf jumping down 20 feet.
A wolf is a lot different than, like, a domestic dog, though.
They're also heavier, and you know what they say about falling?
What?
The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
That part just annoyed me a little bit, where it's like, oh, they're in morph, so therefore
why
they're fine.
Just pick Marco up and let him ride on his back?
Because that would
it's too slopey.
Yeah.
We've discussed this at length.
I was about to say
the Android Chronicles. Wait, no, what? I don't know.
The Android Chronicles. Somebody literally rides on an Android's back.
No, it was a previous book
with no issue.
Hey, you guys remember
Elfangor just has Elfangor just has Andalite scoliosis, and that allows Lauren to do it.
Half gorilla, half trout.
Half trout. That's right.
What a funny idea. He almost suffocates like 2 different times.
Yes, because he accidentally morphs 2 different aquatic animals.
This is terrifying. Like, at any moment, like, what if you accidentally morph in your sleep or something, you know?
And then die. Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Yeah. I would be terrified.
Marco doesn't really morph by accident. He just can't pick what animal he starts half morphing as. But if you were Rachel, because Rachel just starts morphing without being able to.
When she's allergic, yeah.
Right. And she doesn't only turn into an alligator.
So if you're stressed and allergic to a morph, then you have this issue. By the way, did we mention, Valder William does know that these are like Andalites trying to mess with him.
Yes.
Which I feel like would make the plan even worse. Like, okay, he's going to try his best not to freak out because he knows it's Andalites and not just like... You know, he knows he's being messed with intentionally, so I feel like he's going to try harder not to freak out because they know that's his plan.
But also, I feel like there's only so far they could go without him figuring out they're Andalites.
Uh-huh.
Like, oh.
I mean, they didn't intentionally tell him. It's just like...
No, Marco just started being an idiot bird.
Yeah. I mean, but that's not his fault.
No, I'm just... Yeah, which is where I'm saying that wasn't intentional.
Can I read this quote I like?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Are we sure we can do this, Jake asked. Let me try, some moron said. Wait, it was me.
Wait, hang on, sorry, say that again?
Let me try, some moron said. Wait, it was me.
What's the part before that?
Jake says, are we sure we can do this? Trying to register whether cockroaches can climb on the ceiling.
That is funny.
Yeah.
The other book that this ghost author has written is book 25.
You know...
The first ghost written book.
That's interesting, because that was like the worst Animorphs book I've ever read in my life.
Yeah, it was.
It was so boring and nothing in it.
This dude just loves polar bears, huh?
I guess so, yeah.
Dang, if only he had as much enthusiasm for penguins.
I wonder if the ghostwriters pick which plots and characters they want to write about. You know, because it's like supposedly K.A. Applegate writes the outlines for all the plots, and supposedly and like we know that the narration has to go in a specific order for some reason. So like I wonder if the ghostwriters pick which are like, I want a Marco book, or if they're just like, my schedule allows me to write for book 35.
Okay, can I point something out about chapter 15? I referenced this earlier, but So they're talking about who will morph human, and Marco says, I was not the ideal choice for the test, blah, blah, blah. Oh, only Cassie, Axe, and I had the morph needed, yeah. And Axe couldn't be trusted in the kitchen in human morph. And we needed Cassie with Jake and Rachel.
What?
What does that mean? Why did he say that?
So they don't start, going at each other?
So that Jake and Rachel don't start going at each other?
What?
We need Cassie there to remind Jake why he's not dating his cousin.
Yeah, really.
No, I mean, fighting.
Oh.
Jake and Rachel did not fight.
I know. I'm just trying to think of something.
Maybe because she's the best morpher, but, if they're trusting Jake and Rachel to do this too, then, what's the point of having her?
Because they're, already cockroaches or something like that? I don't know.
Yeah, also, another weird moment. The guy who's working in the kitchen pretends not to know who William Roger Tennant or the Hansons are.
He pretends? What? Why, what do you mean he pretends?
That's what I think is happening.
He's like a French chef who's like, I don't know who that is. I'm a French chef. I only care about fancy things. I don't care about his pop culture.
Why wouldn't he be aware of who the guests
the 12 mother sauces
are? Listen, he's only there to make the good food.
One time I was ushering a show for Trey Anastasio, whatever his name is, and I didn't know who he was by name. I had to look him up.
He wanted Snooty, he'd get Snooty. He's only the guest of honor at this banquet. He's the man. Well, him and Hanson, they're here too. That's how Marco responds to him asking, who's William Roger Tennant? And sneering. Why would he sneer that?
Because he doesn't respect these pop culture things. He's like, I'm here to give them my fancy food.
Okay.
Which I can't even be bothered to keep track of if someone doesn't like tomatoes or not.
Just don't like picky people.
That's true.
Especially not French chefs.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is true. Sorry, any French chefs
listening. French people are just really rude in general.
No, sister, we're losing the critical French contingent of our audience.
Yeah, I need to check our French demographic now.
I was joking, by the way. I didn't.
We have to suck up to everyone.
You love French video games.
Yeah, I have a bunch of those.
Yeah, they made the famous Assassin's Creed franchise.
Okay, I'm looking at
non-Ubisoft French games.
I'm looking at our listeners' demographics from the last month. Okay, hate people from the US, hate Canadians, hate Germans, hate British people, hate you if you're from Singapore, Australian. What's French? Hang on, we have no French listeners from the last 30 days. Oh, so we can say whatever we want about French people. Yeah, screw you guys. Yeah, do we have any? We have no French people of all time. What the frick? Why is no one from France listening? Oh, gee, this is why.
Because they're too snooty to listen to our podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Are they Canadians?
Yeah, 8% actually is from Canada.
Well, maybe they're all French.
Yeah, maybe there are French.
Oh,
nah,
frick,
no
right.
way.
I forgot about that.
Canada's not France.
Really, 8%? I mean, we probably only have 10 listeners, so that's one person. But I wonder who's from Canada listening?
Well, no, there's 3% something.
93% from Ontario, 5% from Alberta.
Okay, which is the French area?
Quebec.
2% from Quebec. Are people just using NordVPN to change the location? Do we really have this very diverse listenership? Because that's pretty cool if we do.
Yeah.
How you call it NordVPN?
None of us have even left.
I couldn't remember the name.
None of us.
It's in NordVPN.
I know, but I had to say it before I realized.
Have people all been using Surfshark VPN, the #1 VPN?
I don't know how VPNs work.
I've probably done the same thing. It's just funny.
Marco and Axe are trying to blend in with the crowd after their lie about being busboys, and they find a random table to sit at, and they're like, "There's only one chair. It's okay. We're very good friends." I sat down and yanked Axe down on my lap. A little bit of Animorphs fan fiction sprinkled in here, I guess.
This is probably Marco walks in on his dad, with his dad's girlfriend.
His dad is making out with Miss Robinette when he walks in, yeah, and they're like, "What are you doing here?" Marco's like, "I live here."
Yeah.
I didn't interpret them as saying it rudely. I think they were more just surprised and embarrassed. They
were
like, "Get out of my house!
No,
you don't own this."
Yeah.
It was cute. I'm happy for Marco's
Clearly,
dad.
this book only exists because Jake or Jeremy or whatever his name is ships Marco's dad with his OC.
With his math teacher.
With his math teacher, OC.
Whose one personality trait is that she loves math and names her dog after
It made
math.
me wish that parent-teacher conferences didn't exist. That was the thing Marco said.
Yeah. Anyway, I also like that Marco occasionally brings up the fact that he led his mom into a trap to kill her because he's still not over it. Nor should he be.
Yeah. I thought it was really cool in chapter 22. Like, I know I said chapter 20 was
I'm looking at the end of chapter 22.
Chapter 22 is probably like a really good chapter as well because it starts with like Marco and Tobias tormenting WRT as this dog over and over again. Mm-hmm. Despite my earlier criticisms about like this isn't very realistic, but like I like how he writes about it. He's like, we'd experienced things no person should ever have to experience: war and devastation, betrayal and defeat, and all the skin-crawly horrors of morphing. Win or lose, I'll have nightmares for the rest of my life. Now, unexpectedly, it was payback time. Not some morally troublesome action that might result in a serious injury or even death, some violence that would eat away at me. This was clean. This was pure. I had a yerk in my poodle's sights, and he was going to suffer. Was I taking a sadistic pleasure in it all? Yes, I was. Pretty cool. And I really like how this chapter starts with, like, Marco stating, like, yes, this is my pure, clean, not morally gray, like, I love causing other people to suffer as a result of all my trauma and hang-ups, etc. I am making someone suffer. Finally, I just get to do it and not feel bad about it. And then what happens at the end of this chapter? Marco wants to make his dad suffer, he realizes. He wants his dad to suffer. And in the same way that he's making William Roger Tennant suffer. And he feels terrible about it. But he's taking the same sadistic kind of pleasure in it. But now it's like, shoot. It wasn't just like because it was clean and that I was taking sadistic pleasure in it. I just want people to suffer because my life sucks.
Yep.
And the way that he projects, he says his dad was killing his mom by like moving on. He says he was betraying her. He was setting her aside, consigning her to the past. He was killing her. That's what he was doing. It's like, Marco, at this point, you think you killed her. Mm-hmm. And it's like he's projecting that onto his dad for like daring to move on. It's like crazy. It's like because he still has this hope that he didn't really kill his mom, and obviously he didn't. But like from his perspective, he's projecting that insecurity about possibly killing his mom onto his dad, and that's really cool.
Man, you started an interesting topic right as I was about to get up and go pee, and now I want to stay here.
Yeah, and what if it's not okay, I said, about his dad marrying the teacher. I could hardly hear my own voice. I like that. He's like detached. He's like kind of, it's like I guess it's almost like that part earlier where it's like, I'll do it, some moron said. He sighed. His eyes turned vacant, distant, the way they'd looked for a large part of the past 2 years. I hadn't missed that look. I hadn't missed it at all.
That was such a chilling line.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
I was like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that. But it makes sense. And he was talking at the beginning of this book about how his dad was like getting happier and happier and was very happy now that he'd met Nora, Miss Robinette, the teacher. Yeah. And that's the part. This is the part of the book where I like started to realize and like recontextualize the parts of this book where he was like, "Oh, boo-hoo, audience! You guys have real life family problems. Who cares?" It's like Marco just wants people to suffer, and he hasn't really realized that until this chapter.
Sorry.
Now, most of this book was still boring to read, so it's still a meh. But I like this chapter.
This was definitely not like. This book was not a snooze fest. I think every scene was like reasonably like.
Yeah, I was reasonably interested. Like,
what I realized?
In a lot of Animorphs books, I feel like I'm struggling through each page trying to like get to the end, but that didn't happen with this.
I realized there was zero fighting in this book. Just them attacking a guy. There was no like aliens or anything. That's it. It was. What's on my arm? It was kind of an
Visser
unusual.
Three didn't even show up at the end.
Yeah, he did make a cameo though.
It's disgusting.
Which is why this kind of felt like I said, it kind of felt like half a book to me. Like different levels of stakes. I feel like, but it was pretty good. I liked it.
Natural, was something dripping in here?
It was definitely not
it's
boring.
Possible.
Yeah, I don't think at least.
It must have just been like one drop and it went on my arm.
Isn't that like a septic pipe where like the piss and like blood goes, as we discussed?
It just smells up my arm, so it's probably not a septic pipe.
Well, that's what your arm smells like. I'm gonna go get the joke book. And
this book was definitely a meh.
I mean, I'm mostly leaving the pee.
You liked it though. Get a thumbs up.
I know. Now I'd probably change it to a meh.
I say I might change it to a thumbs up.
I stand by my decision.
Pretty good, I think I wrote. Anyway.
I like Cassie in this book. I like the chapter where she talks to Marco, and also in chapter 3 where like they're gonna do the plan. Cassie gave me a long, hard look. She wasn't going to say anything. She was making sure I knew that she knew that I messed up.
Yep.
No, she knew that I was messed up. Like Cassie
Cassie knows that you're feeling 10 minutes before you do.
There's like another story in here about like Cassie being like upset that she can't fix Marco in one day or whatever. Like, you know, some things you just can't go in and fix with, you know, emotional openness.
Mm-hmm.
Jake, he's going through some bad stuff in his life, Cassie said. He's stressed. His dad is... Cassie, you know I love you and admire you, but be quiet. You listen to me, Marco. We have 0 time for your self-pity. I don't care what your problems are. You deal with this right now. And then it works.
Yep.
Which is like... I feel like maybe that might be the author being sexist and just like what the author... Maybe what the author wanted to communicate there was girls, am I right? But honestly, I thought it was kind of poignant.
I thought it was like boys, am I right?
He's Marco, Jake said. What he needs is to pull his head out of his rear end and remember what he always says. What I always say... What is he talking about? Jake said, life is either tragedy or comedy. Usually it's your choice. You can whine or you can laugh. And that's basically the advice that Marco takes for the rest of the book.
I thought it was very interesting. Like, Cassie wants Marco to evolve and become this more, like, emotionally enlightened person, and Jake says...
No, Marco, you gotta be Marco.
You gotta be Marco. We don't have time for you to evolve. You just have to keep going with what's kind of worked for us so far. We can't take these risks. I'm the leader, and I say that you have to keep doing it this way. And
right.
I mean, it works in the moment, so I guess he's proven right, which is like... But it's also like Marco
I can't
isn't...
wait for these problems to come down over time.
Marco just kind of isn't allowed because he's in a war, because he's a soldier in a war. Marco just kind of isn't allowed to actually like deal with his problems in a transformative way that would actually like help him. He kind of just has to bottle them up some more, but in a more effective way this time. Yeah, at the end of this book, Marco just says like, but mostly I remembered what I've always known, which is how my mom taught me about the world a long time ago. So it's like. He's taking in, like, his new experiences, but he still has to, like, just keep with what he's, quote, always known.
Yeah.
Mid-book, I mean, but, like, there were some high highs and some, like, mids. Not really that high highs, I guess. Just, like, interesting bits of this book. Overall, I don't know, 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10, maybe, it's 5 out of 10, I don't know.
I liked it. It was kind of unique, to be honest, as far as most books go.
It wasn't like just like nothing, so that's what I like about it.
You know, my expectations were down in the dumps, and it exceeded them. So
I thought you liked the last 34. Like, where is this?
Just
like
based on like the cover and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Wow, judging a book by its cover.
I remember like we were
another Marco.
I remember we were so hyped for this. I remember like in the last recording we were like so hyped for this book because you guys loved book 34, and then we're like yeah, let's read the preview, and then we read the preview, and you guys were like, oh. Like, I do remember that.
I don't remember that.
I thought it was going to be a lot more about Marco's dad proposing to his girlfriend, because that was like what the whole like teaser was about.
I don't know. I mean, it's an Animorphs book. They got an Animorph. Like what?
No, I
what
thought
other possibly things could have happened within that plot line?
Yeah, unless they wanted to do like a
I thought the whole book was
from Mulan 2 moment where Marco morphs into various animals to try and sabotage their relationship.
That's what I thought it was going to be. I'm glad it wasn't, for the record.
I liked the amount of Marco's dad and Nora that was in this book. Like, Marco's not involved in that. That's just going on. Marco gets to react to it, but he's not an active player in that, which is kind of the point. Oh yeah, they actually do get married in this book.
Yes, they do.
That's nice.
That was in the summary.
And all the Animorphs are Axe is somehow invited, I guess.
Is Axe like the best man?
Yes,
no, Marco's the best man.
Marco's the best man.
Axe is the best man. That would be great.
Axe was invited.
I'm gonna make your friend who came over to my house one time and only responded to my questions with yes or no confusingly.
Who's that?
That's my best man. It's such a formative moment in my relationship with Nora, to be honest.
Him saying yes or no, I was so confused. I went to the school to help understand what was going on. And I met Nora.
Okay, yeah, that's all I had.
There's an ad for the Animorphs Alliance in this book, but you had to be responded by July 31st, 2000, which is before I was born, so I just missed it.
That's a place where I think... Why is there an advertisement for Star Wars books in here? What the heck?
Does Arizona have like an orange star? I imagine Arizona having an orange star.
Buster, do you want to talk about the Animorphs Transformers?
They're very funny. I think we've talked about these before, but
haven't we?
I have not seen this Hawk-Pajir Visser 3 one. I've seen these horrible Tobias Hawk where it's like... It just looks like a transformer, not like a child at all. So this Visser 3 one, there's Visser 3 Hawk-Pajir transformer, and it goes from like a Hawk-Pajir to like a Hawk-Pajir but with like Visser 3's head is basically what it looks like. It's the worst transformer I've ever seen.
Can't even make it look cool in the ad.
Oh yeah.
Like what is even the difference? Spot the difference.
Exactly the same.
Is it literally just like a hatch that you flip up and down over the head?
Did they even sell
Apparently, when Tobias is a human, he's just like a hawk that stands upright.
He's an angel.
He has hawk arms.
Why did they sell these?
And he has wings.
Why do they sell these instead of just selling like Andalite like action figures? I'm sure people would like those.
I mean, to be fair, Animorphs Transformers tie-in is like that's kind of an obvious idea. Like, you know, I don't blame them for trying to do that, but like these are the worst Transformers I've ever seen.
They are.
And there's a reason that Transformers are typically robots.
Yeah.
Because you can't actually like make a like actual convincing human turn into a car, or at least not with like very more, you know, a lot more like thought and material put into it than Transformers are willing to do with their like cheaper toys. I don't think I've ever purchased a Transformers toy, so I don't really know how expensive they are, but I imagine it would cost them a lot more money to make like convincing non-robot ones than just to do robots.
I had a Transformer that was like a pterodactyl.
Speaking of which, how many bumblebees out of 10 would you guys say this
out of 10 this time? Oh, like a foot and stomach.
All right, joke time.
Joke
Let's just sign out first. So,
I'm
you go first.
Oh.
I'm better.
I'm mustard. No one likes my going backwards idea ever. Stuart!
What?
We're signing out.
I'm not usually last.
Yes, you are.
Yeah?
What?
Oh, this is like everybody using their like powers against the
Did Be Natural say?
Yeah, everyone said.
Oh, I'm stirring.
I was talking over it though. Let me make sure I have the right joke here.
Who the heck are Time Man and Oil Man? Those are fan art.
Where?
On the right.
Guys, there are 4 jokes
Time
left in this
Man,
book.
Oil Man?
Yeah, those aren't from me.
No, I'm pretty sure those are real.
Guys, shut up! It's joke time!
These are organized like by game. Because all of them except one have 8
joke
masters.
Time. Joke
Well,
time.
Hardman is massive. Is that the actual spider in the game?
Yeah.
Joke time.
Yeah.
Joke time makes reading fun.
He looks a bit big, actually.
I
don't remember him having red on him.
Then Splash Woman, what?
Yeah, there's one girl one.
One
woke?
woman.
They made Mega Man woke? I don't like Mega Man now.
Oh,
Mega
they
Man
made
boys
8-bit
club.
versions of all the
You've said the word woke way too many times.
Mega Man 7 and 8 ones.
I'm woke girl, that's my superpower.
It is.
Oh, that's
I'm
why
the
they're different
wokest.
shapes. Okay.
The wokest guy of all time. I'm very woke.
Blade Man looks funny.
Knock knock.
Who's
there?
Anne.
And who?
Frank?
No.
In an airplane
Darn
over the sea
it.
reference?
Frank.
What?
In an airplane over the sea reference?
I just listened to that album last week, actually.
Have you not heard it before?
Yesterday. No, I had.
Yeah, pretty much all these sprites are
Yeah.
edited, I think.
I own the CD.
Because they made Cutman orange when in the original game he was actually red.
Yeah,
Every
notice
time-
the color's a little off.
Every time I hear that song, I kind of tear
Which
up because I
song?
think about how my dog will die
What? What song are you talking about?
in an airplane over the sea.
Well, I meant the album.
I thought you meant Oink Oink Zoo Pals. I was like, what?
Listen, I just have a strange relationship with my dog.
Wait, what was the joke? What was the joke? What?
Anne.
Landers?
Anne?
Apple?
No.
And Animorphs Book Club Podcast?
No.
Oh.
Well, guys, you're supposed to guess the joke.
Does this have to do with school?
No. I mean, maybe. But no, not explicitly.
It could be anything, like an elephant pooped on my garage.
Yeah, it's really
like,
easy. It could be any word that starts with a vowel.
Well, it is not.
Anoint my head with
guys,
oil.
listen. The
Anthrax?
first word in this word that's in the answer starts with an. It is not an.
What?
It's not the letter N?
It's not an.
I kind of didn't understand what you said.
Any gay hardfish?
Wait, so the first word in the answer is an N.
Any
a
help
word that
on
starts
my
with
test,
an.
please?
Okay, animal?
No.
Animorph?
Wow, I see how this is a
It's
robot
really
having
narrowed
sex
it
with a
down.
crab.
It's a verb. It's a verb.
Pretty crazy.
It's a verb.
A verb?
Annoy me.
Anoint.
Anointing.
Anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. I'm just gonna say it and stop
Okay.
recording.
Okay.
Unless you guys want to guess more.
I feel like there's no way I'll ever guess it.
Yeah, this is gonna take too long.
It would be like the monkey on a typewriter thing, like, at this point.
I mean, we already do that for every single joke.
Yeah, but this one is particularly...
We only have 3 more jokes left after this.
Oh,
we
really?
Can't just, in this book.
Wait, what are we gonna do?
I don't know, find a different joke book.
Didn't we get the Halloween jokes in that book where we found the Melvin?
Something like that.
I mean, you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean.
Okay, be natural, not.
Oh, yeah,
there?
because there's Sonic Man.
Stop looking at Mega Man characters! I'm about to end the podcast.
Okay, sorry, what was the answer?
Knock.
Who's there?
Anne.
And who?
Answer the question, please.
What?
There's no way I would have gotten... No one would ever get that. It's not even a joke. What are you...
Why are you answering the question? Kids want to hear about you.
Dude, the next book is wild.
Visser or 36?
Yeah. Both, I guess, but I was talking about Visser.
I'm so interested about Visser because I have no idea, is it actually Visser 1
Because I assumed
and the
it was
cover
going to
is
be
just
about Visser 3,
red
but now
herring?
I'm guessing it's about Visser 1.
Or
And I love Visser 1, I want to hear more about her.
I also don't
Would
know.
you rather it be Visser 3 or Visser 1?
Visser 1, that's what I just said.
Okay. I made it about Visser 1.
Thank you.
Is it actually?
Should I tell you?
No.
Okay.
Well, I feel like you wouldn't just lie like that. What your magic powers. I'm so interested because I don't know when that book takes place. The previous
Also, yeah, I
two books
assumed it
have
was
been
going to be
in the
a
past.
backstory, so now But the way
Dude,
it's written makes it sound like it's about to happen.
It's just like an Animorphs book, but it's narrated by Visser 1.
Although this
like
one,
in the present.
this is the first one that is not chronicles.
Well, it's probably just what happened to her, her whole life, and then it, towards the end, I guess the part where she needs Marco's help, and it's explaining why she needs Marco's help.
It would make sense for this one to be in
Alright,
the
so
present.
you're probably wondering how I got into this situation.
Because is this one actually considered chronicles? It's not
like a
chronicles
picture
book, it
of
just says
Latina woman on the phone, and then it pauses, and then the camera zooms into her ear, and it shows a slug. It's yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I got into this situation.
I would love it if that was how the Animorphs movie started.
That would be a big
That would be epic.
It makes sense that Visser would be about Visser 1, because we already basically, heard Visser 3's whole
already know Visser
backstory
3's backstory.
in, the previous one.
Well, you guys are,
I just read, the first paragraph, and it's definitely about Visser 1, by the way, so
okay.
it's pretty hype.
Yeah, every time you guys mentioned it being about Visser 3, I just kind of, shut my mouth. It's kind of cool that they think it's going to be about Visser 3. I mean, it is, the cover is very funny.
The cover is definitely Visser 3.
Yeah.
So
wait, which one? Hold on, let me look at this.
Anyway, what did you
The cover is just a thirst trap image of Visser 3. It's just looking up upskirt shot of Visser 3.
Okay.
Right.
It is!
Yeah.
It's not an exaggeration.
No,
was it?
He's ridiculously buff too for some reason, even though every book insists.
Oh, dude, the back
Guys,
cover's
can we
his
talk about
back.
that when we get
Yeah,
to that book?
the Animorphs book all insist that Andalites are little weaklings on their upper bodies, but then the cover artists are no, we're gay. We're drawing big manly men, okay?
Okay, back to this book.
I love gay people. I say gay as a not as an insult, it's a compliment, okay? I love you, Roman Koukalis, and whoever drew Visser, maybe it's also Roman Koukalis.